So, good morning, ma'am. Good morning, classmates. So, this is James Arul Banji Ramos, hereby with Hubert Villaruel and Bernie Romalilios. So, this is data discrimination and data mining. We are reporting this topic. Panex, please. So, introduction. Data mining is the process of discovering useful patterns and knowledge from sets of data. While it can be powerful and beneficial, it can also unintentional or intentional lead to data discrimination, an unfair treatment of individuals or groups based on certain characteristics in the data. This report aims to explain what data discrimination is in data mining, what why it matters, how it occurs, and what can be done to detect and prevent it. So data mining extract patterns from large dataset to support the decision making. However, this process can be introduced data discrimination when individuals or groups are treated unfairly due to the biases in the data or models. So, next please. So, what is data discrimination? Data discrimination in data mining refers to bias or unfair treatment or people based on sensitive attributes such as gender, race, or ethnicity, age, religion, nationality, disability, socioeconomic status. So this happens when data mining models or decision making system use these attributes directly or indirectly to make unfor- unfavorable prediction or decision about individuals. So what is data discrimination? Is unfair treatment in automated decision based on sensitive attributes such as sinabi ko, and even if not directly used, models can learn bias from patterns that correlate with these attributes. Panex, Hubert. So how data discrimination happens? These are two main types of discrimination in data mining. The first is direct, excuse me, direct discrimination. This occurs when decision rules are explicitly based on sensitive attributes. So, example, a loan approval system that denies application from people based on their race or gender. So, ito yung mahalimbawa ko yan na paliwanag. Kumbaga, yung mga white people is pag naglo-loan sila ng pera is mabilis silang napapahiram ng mga bank company kasi nga parang sila napapalagay sila or komportable sila sa mga taong 'yon. And and at and unfortunately naman dun sa black people naman is parang meron silang negative tawag dito, negative na mentality kasi which is pag inisip nilang black parang naihahalintulad nila agad to sa violente or gulo or like parang hindi sila komportableng pagkatiwalaan yung mga taong yan. Yun yung may halimbawa ko sa direct discrimination. So sa indirect discrimination naman is this happens when seemingly neutral attributes are strongly correlated with sensitive attribute used to lead biased decision. So example nito yung using someone's zip code which might correlate with ethnic background to determine loan risk. So ayun na nga yung sinasabi ko, yung kumbaga gumagamit siya ng ng zip code ng iba para tawag dito para siya parang tumaas yung chance niyang mapahiram siya ng pera kasi minsan yung mga bank system kasi nagbe-base lang din sila sa sa mga lugar na pwede nilang pahiramin, which is pag neighborhood ganyan doon sila magfo-focus or sa village hindi, so ganun parang indirect discrimination. So yun lang sa akin, thank you. Hubert, ikaw na.
Why is it a problem? It can lead to unfair treatment of individuals. It means that may mga tao na pwedeng hindi paboran ng system lalo na kung kabalik ka sa isang race ngaya or may edad ka na, or sa ethnic mo, bawa ano nga, ay taka nga yan, di ka good payer, parang di ka, wala kang pambayad, ganon, kung mag-loan ka, ganon po. And it may violate anti-discrimination laws. So sa US, meron nito, lahat ng credit transactions dapat equal lang sa lahat ng tao. Pag napatunayan na nag-violate ka doon, pwede kang makasuhan o makulong. It damages public trust in automated system. So, kapag na halata na ng tao na parang may bias, pwede hindi nila gamitin yung system nyo, parang hindi na sila mag-avail ng services nyo. Pwede yung mag-hangtong sa pagka-bankrupt ng company nyo. It can lead to ethical and legal issues for companies and organizations. So ito na nga sinasabi ko, pwede kayong makulong dyan, pwede kayong mapagbayad dahil sa mga violations nyo. Kaya dapat, as much as possible, we should treat everyone equally. How to detect data discrimination? Data scientists can use several techniques to detect discriminatory patterns. Discrimination measures how much more likely a decision applies to a group compared to others. So, for example, if women are twice as likely to be denied a loan compared to men, the leave for women is equals to 2. So, kapag mas mataas daw yung leave sa babae pwedeng ma-deny yung loan nila, mas mataas yung chance nilang na ma-deny yung loan nila, ganun. Compared sa lalaki, pag 1 lang, it means parang they treated equally, ganun. Pero pag mataas na, hindi na yan, pangit na yan. Parang may discrimination na po yan. Risk ratio compares the probability of a negative outcome between groups. For example, if the risk of loan denial is 20% for Group A and 10% for Group B, the risk ratio is 2. So mataas pa rin yun, pangit yun, parang may discrimination yun kasi 2, dapat nasa lang 1 siya, or pag greater than 1 kasi parang may discrimination na rin yan, dapat sa 1 lang, ganun, equals to 1 lang. Data auditing, manually reviewing data and decisions. Check if sensitivity attributes are directly or indirectly affecting decisions. Like yung gender nga or yung race, pwede maka-affect sa discrimination kapag yung sa history nga yung mga sa isang group nga ganito, sa mga ethnic group nga yung hindi parang hindi mahirap nga ganyan, pwede kayong hindi paboran ng system, ganun. Checking for statistical differences between groups. Pwede nyo i-check yung kung halimbawa pares lang naman kayo ng income, halos pares lang, similar lang yung mga nyo, tawag doon, yung mga factors ba yun, ganun. Pero hindi ka napaboran pa rin, parang ganun, may may discrimination na, may pinapaboran ng system. Kahit na halos pares lang naman kayo, pares kayo ng sahod, ganun, pares kayo ng race, kahit maganda yung race mo, ganun. Fairness metrics. Demographic parity. So dapat sa demographic, pantay-pantay lang lahat ng kasali diyan, kahit saan ka pang demographic groups, dapat pantay-pantay lang. Equal opportunities. Dapat equal lang sa opportunities para sa lahat ng tao. Kahit nasa ang group ka, dapat may pantay-pantay pa rin. Kahit yung group mo may mga hindi good payer, dapat pwede ka pa rin maka-avail, hindi ka ma-deny. Predictive party. So dito, dapat sa iba't ibang grupo is may default na yung parang risk ba or default. Kung kung ilang yung risk nang pwede ma-deny or pwedeng ma-deny yung loan mo, dapat ganoon din sa lahat para may equality. How to prevent or reduce discrimination. Pre-processing the data, remove or anonymize sensitive attributes. Ito lang yung sinasabi ni Van kanina, yung gender, yung race, yung mga ganun. So, ginagamit yung zip code sa indirect para lang, bawa, nag-ano ka nga na, na laman nila na kabalik ka sa ganitong group, hindi hindi maganda yung status, yung income, pwede kang ma-deny, ganun. So, dapat yung alisin. Balance the data set to reduce bias. So, ito para ma-ensure yung fairness ng system. Hindi siya maging pabor sa ibang group. Dapat pantay-pantay lahat. 2. And processing techniques. Use algorithms that are designed to be fair. So, dapat ang gamitan nating algorithm system is hindi yung bias, dapat yung pang fair. So, wala akong na-search yan, pero kung gusto nyo, mag-search kayo. Add fairness constraints during model training. So, dapat may mga conditions na, halimbawa, nga yan, kung may condition na equal opportunities for all, ganon. Para hindi mag-base yung system kapag nakita niya yung history ng iba na good pair nga to, dito papaboran ng system, ganon. Para maging pantay. Post processing. Adjust the output of models to reduce bias result. If one group is under predictive for loan approvals, raise their approval probability the result slightly. So, tataasan din hanggang sa mapantay yung yung mga probability nila, mga chances na na walang mapapaboran yung system, walang ma-discriminate. So, kaya po nyo i-adjust. Modify decision threshold to ensure fairness. So, kapag habang tumatagal nagbago naman ang data, so, kailangan din i-modify yung mga decisions kasi baka hindi na applicable ngayon. Or yung dating mga decisions hindi na applicable sa ngayon. Kaya kailangan din natin i-update yan or modify. Kana burn. Your time to shine.
Yay. Real life examples. Hiring algorithm. Some recruitment tools are found to favor male candidates over female ones due to based historical data. A hiring algorithm is a systematic approach used by companies and organizations to streamline and optimize the recruitment process. Ito daw po yung ginagamit ng organization para ma-optimize yung mga recruitment process nila. Credit scoring. Some systems give lower credit scores to people from certain neighborhoods even if they had good financial histories. Credit scoring is a method used by financial institutions and leaders to assess the creditworthiness of individuals applying for loans, credit cards, or other financial products. Predictive policing. System that targeted areas with high arrest rate, often communities of color, rainforest of bias. Predictive policing is a law enforcement strategy that utilize data analysis and advanced analytics to forecast and prevent criminal activities before they occur. Next par. Data discrimination is a serious concern in the world of data mining. As future data professionals, we must be aware of these issues and take active steps to ensure fairness and ethical use of data. By understanding and addressing data discrimination, we help build more trustworthy and exclusive and responsible technologies. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay na?
Nag-apat ka ba?
Okay, sige, okay. So, again, thank you po ma'am for listening. So that's for all. And this is James Arulbanji Ramos, by with Hubert Villaruel and Bernie Romanillas. So thank you for listening. That's all po ma'am. Thank you.